Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 68 of Chance Ball, and this one is titled First Student. The first place was the court in someone's backyard, and you knocked on the big iron gates of the estate and waited for someone to let you in. Yes? A voice asked through the peephole at the gate. I'm here to inquire about the volleyball court for rent, you replied, still half thinking this could have been a joke. Ah, yes, come in, the voice invited, and the gate cracked open with a groan. You poked your head through and saw an older man there with a very sun-worn face, but he seemed friendly enough and you stepped inside. Come with me, the man said, leading the way down the cobblestone path that was flanked by a very well-maintained vegetable garden. Fruit and vegetables of every kind were growing, and you marvelled as you passed them. This is a nice garden, you commented to him. Do you grow? He asked back over his shoulder as he walked ahead. No, unfortunately I can't grow anything. Even plastic plants would die in my care, you lamented sadly. Do you like these fruits and vegetables? He asked, gesturing to them. Yeah, actually, he said with surprise. I'm not very fussy with my fruit and veggies, but these will look good. He replied, gesturing with a crooked finger towards where all of his plants were. You looked them over. Wow, you have so many different types of foods here. He nodded, and you followed him up to the front steps, and then into the house, and then out the back, that was set up as a very old Japanese-style yarding with a very large veranda that skirted the house. You looked out and saw a dirt court with an old volleyball net set up. Well, this is cute, you said, walking out to look things over. What size is your team? He asked. Well, I don't actually have a team yet, you said sheepishly, toying with the tattered strings on the net. I was going to start up a coaching for littlies, 18 months to 3 years old. His eyes brightened. My grandson is 2 and loves volleyball, but I'm a little old to coach him. He'd love to join. Oh, really? You asked with delight. My little girl is 1.5 years and is obsessed. Her and her father at home watching volleyball on the TV as we speak. The old man chuckled. It's a good thing. Do you play? Not so much anymore, you said with a slightly sad smile. But I played all through high school, and my boyfriend is on the Blue Flames V-League team. What position does he play? The man asked. He's the ace, you said proudly. Dabi Todoroki, the man said without missing a beat. Yeah, that's him. Oh wow, do you know the team then? You said with surprise. Oh, I follow them closely. They're a good team, he said with a smile as he stepped off the veranda and extended his hand. You held your hand out too and shook his. I'm Totoru, he said kindly. Yin, please call me Yin, you said. If you're interested in renting this place, I'll drop it cheap for you, 15 an hour, he said. Oh, that's very kind of you. The ad says 30. That's half of what you advertised. Are you sure that's okay? You asked. To have nice occupants teaching young kids volleyball, that's worth more than anything else, he said. I'll take it then, you said with a smile, still shaking his hand, and then placing your other hand over his gently. Much appreciated. After talking a little more, he gave you some favourite fruit and veg from the garden, and you left to go home and tell Dabi the good news. He was very excited for you and keen to meet Mr Totoru. Well, once I start advertising, we can go meet him, you said with a smile. The following week you started hanging up flyers around town, and you also texted a picture of the flyer through to the women that you'd met at the shops. Within 20 minutes of the first few flyers going up, you got calls. Everyone was keen to enrol their kids, and they were even happier to know that you were fully qualified and your boyfriend was on the Blue Flames team. Dabi came in to meet Mr Totoru that week, and you brought along little Ko as well. She still had her Wawa ball with her and tried to start practicing the minute that she saw the volleyball net in the yard. I'm going to need to get a shorter net, you said to Dabi and Mr Totoru as they stood and watched Koemi toss the ball up into the air to try and get it over the net. We'll get one on the way home, Dabi said. Yin, Mr Totoru said to you as you were about to leave. My wife is in bed here, very frail and ill, but she loves kids and volleyball. Would I be able to wheel her out onto the veranda so that she can watch the practices? Oh, of course, you said. She's more than welcome to watch the lessons. Thank you, he said with a crooked smile. She'd love it. Because there had been so many inquiries, you had to run 2 training sessions, one at 10 a.m. and the other at 12:30 p.m, and the following morning at 10 a.m. sharp, the first of the children arrived. You were only allowing 5 kids in the class at a time so you could keep up with everyone, and so the first little girl, aside from you and Koemi, arrived. Hi, you greeted her, getting down on her level. What's your name? The little one clung to her mum and stepped in behind her, peeking out at you shyly. Come on, say your name, the mother said down to her little shy one. Mio, the little girl whispered. Mio, and how old are you, Mio? This many, she said, holding up 2 fingers. We're going to have lots of fun today, Mio. Do you want to come and meet my little girl, Koemi? She nodded and left her mummy's side and then slowly walked over to your girl, who smiled brightly and held out her volleyball. Volleyball? Play volleyball? The little one asked her, holding out the ball. Mm-hmm, Mio replied, with a shy nod, reaching one hand out to take the ball from Koemi, but at the last minute your little one retracted her ball and clutched it to her chest. Mine, she said strongly. Get ball? She looked around and spotted the ball cart that you had purchased along with some of the volleyballs in it and toddled over to get a ball for Mio. You chuckled and watched them for a bit before talking to the mum. We'll be done by 12 p.m. You're welcome to stay if you like. Oh, it's okay. I'll go and then come back. She seems happy, so it's fine, she said before sneaking away. As she left, the next lady turned up with 18-month-old twin boys. They had no trouble leaving their mum and ran over as soon as they saw the volleyball cart and sent balls flying everywhere as they fought over a ball to have each. Energetic, aren't they? You said to the mum. If someone just did away with me right now, it would end all my pain and suffering, she said in a tired voice. Okay, you go and get some rest and I'll keep them entertained for 2 hours so you can have a break, you said sympathetically to her. Just quickly before you go, what are their names? Okay, the one in the blue is Goro and the one in the red shirt is Kyo, she said. If not, they'll answer to each other's names, so don't worry. Oh, right, you said, looking to where your cart had been upturned and the balls were rolling everywhere while the twin boys wrestled over one ball in particular. You were about to say something to the mum, but she'd already left, so you turned back to your small team. 1, Mio, 2, Komi, 3 and 4, Goro, Kyo, and 5? Just then a loud voice called happily, Volleyball, Mummy! You looked and there was this little girl who ran through the door larger than life and jumped from the veranda and down onto the ground. Hi, she announced loudly to your daughter. I'm Emmy. Volleyball, Koemi replied happily, showing off her volleyball. Emmy loves volleyball too. Emmy, wait, sweetheart, her mum called as she dragged herself through the door with bags falling off her arms, her ponytail pulled to one side with bits sticking out everywhere. Oh, hi, you greeted her. Emmy has already introduced herself to the others, you chuckled, and helped the lady with her bags. Okay, all right, I have a water, food, emergency contact numbers, change of clothes and some extra things in case you need them. She eats at 10:30 a.m. and starts with strawberries in her pink container first. Then she can have a banana, but make sure she peels it open with 4 sections, otherwise it's uneven and it might fall out of her hand. The lady continued on with her very rigid schedule and tedious rituals, and then after you managed to calm her down, she left her bags and headed off. Okay, you sighed, turning around to see what the kids were doing. They were running everywhere. Goro and Kyo, the 2 boys, were chasing each other with the balls and trying to throw them at each other. Mio and your girl were carrying the volleyballs around while looking at the flowers along the garden fence, and Emmy was trying to punt the ball over the volleyball net. You hummed out loud. Okay, well, the others seem to be happy, so I'll work with Emmy now, and then once I have her set up and practicing, I'll call the kids into line. And so you headed over to Emmy. Hey, you said brightly. Do you want me to throw the ball to you and you receive? What's that? She asked curiously. I'll show you, you said happily. Hold out your arms like this, okay? You crouched in front of her and gently pulled her arms together so you could show her the correct way to receive a volleyball, and then got the smaller sized volleyball and gently bopped it on her arms. Okay, you asked her. Again, she said brightly. So you dropped to your knees and held the ball a little higher and dropped it directly down onto her outstretched arms. Okay, you asked. Don't let the ball fall though, that's it. Again, Emmy giggled. Me, Goro? One of the 18-month-old twins asked with conviction as he marched over and stood between Emmy and you, presented his ball to you for you to do the same for him. Okay, Goro, just a second, I'm going to show Emmy how to receive. Goro! He demanded, shoving the ball into your chest, as you were still kneeling on the ground. Okay, wait, you said sharply. Kyo turn, little Kyo said as he ran over and pressed the ball into your arm. Mummy, play? Koemi asked, as she, with Mio toddling behind her, walked over to see what was going on. Okay, everyone line up, you called. Line, get in at... No, Mio, not over there. We're lining up over here now so that I can... Emmy, please don't hit Goro with the ball. Koemi, sweetheart, let's stand you next to Kyo. Goro, no, we don't hit each other. The place had fallen apart and you clutched your hands to your head and silently screamed as the kids melted down around you. Just then, Mr Totoru came out onto the veranda. Watermelon, he called invitingly. Come and get some. The kids all stopped immediately and turned and ran towards him, letting you catch your breath for 2 seconds. Oh my god, you thought with distress as you looked at the time and saw it was 10:45 a.m. already. Oh my gosh, I suck at this. We hardly got anything done. And there ends chapter 68. Stay tuned for chapter 69 coming tomorrow. See you then.